Dearies, and welcome back to my channel, your Rex channel. If you're here for the first time, trust me guys, you're absolutely welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and put on your post notification bell so you get notified each time I post a new video. You're welcome to the channel guys, and to my OGs guys, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Today we're going to be making this, which you can see on the thumbnail. This actually a free dress, a free skirt rather. I will just need two measurements for this, which is the waist measurement and the length of the skirt. So that's basically all that we need. I have this small print Ankara which I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be doing all of this drafting on the floor. My table is actually too small for this, so we'll just go straight to the floor. So guys, let's delve right into this. Remember to subscribe guys, and don't make it your last. Thanks guys, and let's go. Okay guys, we're back, and this is the small print I was talking about. Okay, it's actually a full print, like it's 6 yards. All right, so making use of it. Okay, I would like to illustrate this on a piece of paper, on a pattern paper, so we can for more or better comprehension. The waist measurement we're working with is 32 inches. Okay, now this 32 inches we're going to divide by 2 because we want to have side joining allowances by the side, because we're going to be inserting pockets by the side as well, so we need to be side joining. Okay, so if we're going to divide this by 2, we also have to add sewing allowance. Okay, so I'm going to add 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 30 plus 1 inch, which will give us 33 inches. Now 33 inches divided by 2 is going to give us 16.5 inches. Okay, so our front piece is going to be 16.5 inches for the radius at the waist side. So if we're going to cut a full circle, like in full flay rather, not a full circle, a full flay, or a full circle rather, the standard for a full circle is 6.28. What you just need to do is your waist measurement, which is 32 inches. All right, you're going to divide 32 inches by 6.28, and whatever that gives you is what you're going to use for your radius. Okay, so what do I mean by radius? You're simply going to fold. Now let's assume this is what our fabric is, and our Ankara is by length. This is the length, and this is the yardage, and for the length is about 45 inches, and then the yardage is about 6 yards, okay, or thereabouts. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm only trying to illustrate using or assuming this paper as my fabric. Okay, so if we were to do this, probably let's assume our radius is about 5 point what. Okay, what we're going to do right now is what the skirt length is going to be. Now let's assume for our own, what we're doing is what's it called, 43 inches. I'm deviating right now, but 43 inches plus 5, okay, this will give us about 48 inches. Now you need to measure 48 inches on this yard. Okay, now let me assume from here to here is actually my 48 inches. I'm going to fold that into 2 this way, and then unfold this way. I'm going to fold in bias form this way. If you do this and then you mark your 5 inches here, and then you mark your, okay, let me do that, and then you mark your 5 inches this way, and then you mark your 43 inches. So whatever thing that is left here, you have to fill it up. That's join your fabric. I did that later on in, I'll do that later on in the cutting. Okay, but this is basically how to go for a full flay. Now for what we're doing, since it's not going to be a full flay, I don't have much fabric because I want to share this fabric, this 6 yards, with my daughter. Okay, so I'm going to be making use of just a small flay, and that's like quarter of a flay. Alright, so what I want to do, remember I said this right here, we're using here as our yardage, and here as our length, and here as our yardage. Okay, so I'm going to fold my 45 inches to make up with my yardage this way. Alright, and then just one fold like so. Alright, so I'm just going to do this, and then I'll use my tape. Now our what's it called, our waist is supposed to be 16.5 when you open it up like this, but while unfold in this manner it's supposed to be 8 1/4. All right, so I'm just going to use my tape you know, this is actually a miniature illustration, but using your fabric you have more space. So at this point you just want to use your tape to check where you have 8 inches. This is actually a paper. I'm going to still do that on my fabric, but I just wanted to have a pre-knowledge of what I'm going to do. So using on your paper like so, you just look for your 8 1/4, and let's assume our 8 1/4 falls in around this point. Okay, how you're going to maybe falls in around this point. So what you need to do is take from here, measure what you have there, and then go around to ensure that this is what it is. And then you can measure as well to reconfirm, that's to be sure. And then from this point right here, we're going to measure out our 43 inches. So you just keep moving it like so. I have, okay, this. So I'm just going to join that up like this, and then we'll have the circle that we want. While cutting the waistline, which is the radius, you want to leave about 1/2 inch. This is because if you cut directly on this line, the waist will get wider, and that's not what you want. You do not want to pleat on a flare. So you come up with about 1/2 inch, so that when you sew, you're sewing on this line, which will give you your exact waistline. So doing this right now, you can cut this up, and then this is what we have for our front. While in the video I showed us how to go about this, so you might want to as well, you know, just get a piece of fabric to join this all up, and then probably fold back, then you can cut to fill up this. It's as easy as that, very easy, super easy. Okay, so this is what we have, and then pam. So if you look closely, I think our circle skirt for the front piece is ready. So I used this particular piece to cut out the back piece. So I just like to give us an idea of what we're going to see in the video. So guys, let's get down to business. See, I've folded my fabric into two, in bias form. Okay, just this way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to look for my radius. Okay, I'm going to put my, just like I said, our waist is supposed to be 32 inches. Now I'm adding 1 inch for the side joining allowance, which is 1/2 inch of waist, and that's 1 inch. That makes it 33 inches. So I'm going to divide this by 2 because I'm going to have the front piece and back pieces. Okay, so that makes the front piece, that's divided by 2, 33 divided by 2 is 16.5. Okay, so 16.5, since we're folding, we're on fold, okay, it should be 8 1/4, alright, for our radius. So I'm just going to look for where I'll find 8 1/4 is 7.5 is 8. Good. So I'm just going to mark this right here and check what I have there from the top. Okay, so from the top right here, this is about 10.5. So I'm just going to go around with 10.5 this way. Good. And then this is going to serve as our radius. Now to cross check that to be sure, I'm going to measure that out. Okay, this is giving us about 8.5 inches. Now my length, the length of my skirt is supposed to be 43 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch allowance for the folding, the hem right there. So I'm going to measure from this point 43, or the length is 43 inches here. I'm adding 1 inch for folding allowance, which makes it 44 inches. So I'm going to put my tape right here on this, my radius one, and mark 44 inches. This is 44 right here. So I'm just going to keep moving my tape to get my 44 inches. So that right there is my length, 44 inches. Okay, here. So I'm just going to cut it down so that we can see. So this is what we have for our front piece. Now I'm going to fold for the back piece. Just like I said, I'm going to draw out 1 inch from this side for my zipper allowance. Okay, having in mind of our zipper allowance, I'm just going to place the front piece right there, okay, and adjust it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This is our zipper allowance, okay, and this is going to be our waistline. So I'm just going to cut through using this front piece. see the front piece right here. I'm going to be using it and cut from this point this way. This way. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up what I have left, or the spaces I have left. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, for this, now this is our front piece. Okay, so I'm going to just place this aside, alright, and then we're going to work on this part of the dress. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over into this way. You can see that this fabric matches what we need. Okay, it fills up what exactly all that we need. So I'm just going to sew. Okay, I'm going to just sew this with half of an inch like so. So I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine and sew this. Then I need to join what I need. Now I'm going to fold over so that I can trim off the excess. Exactly what I did here is what I'm going to do at the back piece. Now see the excess that we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out, and I have my full circle. So now our full circle is here. Take a look at that. We filled up for this. So I'm going to do the same, repeat the same process for the back piece. And then I'm going to show you. This is the back piece. Okay, this right here is the joining allowance, the zipper allowance rather. This is the back piece. Okay, this right here is the zipper allowance. And if you look closely, I've sewn up my 1 inch zipper allowance. Now if you look at that picture closely, the skirt has a Basque hemline. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at, we're going to be making that cut. Okay, but I want to do that with the front at the same time. So I'm going to place my front piece on my back piece as well, neatly. Now take note of the center front and the center back, which is the zipper allowance. Okay, which I've done already. So I'm just going to place this like this. Okay, we are doing this before sewing up. So once I'm done with this, I'm just going to go ahead and fix my pockets and sew up the sides. And lastly, we're going to fix the waistband. Okay, so take your time and arrange the waistline properly. Okay, we've done that as well. So you can see completing up the circle didn't take it wasn't too hectic for me to have done that. It's just for you to just look for fabric and then complete it up and sew up, and then you can then trim out the excess is. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the hem with about 10 inches up. Let's look at how much 10 inches from the side. Remember, this is our side seam. This is side seam. So let's look at how much 10 inches is. Okay, it's not that much. So let me make it about, let's still make it, let's say, okay, 10 inches is okay. Alright, so these are 10 inches mark right here. I'm just going to make it shouldn't be too sharp. Okay, but I'm going to use my free hand as well to do that. Okay, so from the tip or from the hem right here, I'm just going to go with the curve. Okay, I'm just trying to eyeball it to the 10 inches mark right there. Okay, and this is what we have. I think this is looking good already. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that out and then we'll see what it looks like. I'm just going to keep this aside. Alright, this top is going to be our pocket. So if you've been watching my videos, you see that I don't usually make pockets, but I've done a pocket before in one of my videos. So I'm just going to use my hand, using my left hand, and then I'm going to make a curve with the chalk like so. Okay. Alright, so this is what I need. Okay. This is about 7 inches. I mean the opening should be about 7 6 inches, so that's perfect. So I'm just going to use this to cut the other two from the other side. So I've cut out 4 pieces of this pocket, okay, 2 on each side of the skirt. So here's my skirt. I hope you understand what we're seeing. My tail is very small. Okay, this is actually the back piece. You can see the center joining, and then this is the front piece. Okay, our pocket is going to be sitting somewhere around half inch down, or let me make it 3/4 inches down below the waist. Okay, so this is what it is. Now, how to sew your pocket. Your fabric front sides facing front sides, like so. Okay, I said I was going to leave 3/4 inches from here. I hope you can see that, from the waist of the back, front side facing front side, and they have to face this way because it's going in. Okay, so this is about 3/4 inches. I'm trying to eyeball it. Okay, alright, so I'm just going to pin this down. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this as well. 3/4 inches down this way. I'm going to pin this. I hope you understand this. Okay, so when sewing, what I just need to do is sew it. I'm going to sew this pocket onto the fabric with 1/2 inch. I'm going to also top stitch on the pockets. Okay, then when sewing the sides, I'm just going to come from the top part this way, go round the pocket. I hope you can see that. I'm so sorry. Like, the first thing I did was to pin this thing, the pockets down. Okay, it's supposed to face this way because it's going inwards. Okay, so you take your sewing machine and sew 1/2 inch this way, flip it over this way, and top stitch on the pockets so that it doesn't come out. Okay, that's one. Then do the same thing on the other side. All right, now when you're sewing the side seam, you're going to sew up the 3/4 inches like so. My pin is not making it to have a good look, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Sew up the 3/4 inches, 1/2 inch on. You're sewing with 1/2 inch. Okay, you're going to sew 3/4 inches down. Now the reason why we left 3/4 inches is because our 1/2 inch is for the waistband, so we can have 1/4 inch for just ease, so that the stitches doesn't match themselves. So with 1/2 inch, you go around this way and straight down to the hem. So we're going to repeat this process for the other end, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, these are our skirts. I've fixed the pockets. Okay, this is the back. Alright, and we're sewing it. Okay, we're almost done. What's left is just the band. Okay, I've cut out the band as well. Okay, this is about 2.5 inches wide band. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew this band to the waistline round before I then attach my zipper. Okay, then lastly, also I want to also have a belt. I've not thought of that. I've not made up my mind yet on if I would need a belt, or I'd like to have a belt around this skirt. Okay, but for the band, I'm just going to sew ahead with sew round with 1/2 inch like this from one point to the other end, and then top stitch, folding it back before I then attach my zipper at the back, and I'll show you what the final look is, guys. So guys, if you've watched till this time, I really do appreciate you. I want to say thank you. I'm seeing the love already on the channel. It's massive. Thank you so much. I never knew I would get to this point, but I'll get to this number of subscribers at this time, even with my unseriousness in posting. I'm so appreciative of you all for the way you are subscribing and liking my videos. Thank you so much for the engagement. I really do appreciate it. Now, also, if you've watched to this time and you've not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on anything. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.